In recent years, there has been a growing outcry about how tech giants like Google and streaming services like Netflix are deliberately misrepresenting white people and white history. Users across social media platforms, such as Twitter and Reddit, have pointed out specific examples where white identities are downplayed, altered, or outright replaced. This isn't just about innocent mistakes. This confirms that it's part of a larger agenda to destroy everything related to white history, culture, and achievements. Why white people, you may ask? Well, it's because they are the majority in Western countries. They target Hindus in India similarly. It's all a well-coordinated campaign, operating on a global scale. One of the most talked about issues is how Google's search results have consistently shown biased representations when users search for terms like white people. For example, Google Images would pull up results featuring mixed-race individuals or people of color, rather than predominantly white faces. Google, a globalist-backed company, has been manipulating algorithms to push diversity quotas over accuracy. Google reportedly admitted the error in internal memos and public statements, as shared by bloggers who dug into leaked documents. More recently, in 2020 and 2021, similar complaints surfaced, with users exposing that searches for European history or white inventors were flooded with results emphasizing non-white contributions, diluting the focus. This isn't isolated. Google's apologies are insincere, part of a pattern to rewrite history by algorithm. Think about it, every time they say they're fixing it, they're just making it worse. This goes beyond search engines. There's an orchestrated effort to dismantle white history, culture, and heritage. Examples like the removal of statues, the rewriting of textbooks, and now, digital media manipulations, serve as evidence to confirm the same. In Netflix shows, traditional white icons are portrayed by actors of color, sparking outrage in online forums. This isn't just about entertainment. It's a calculated move to indoctrinate younger generations. They're not just changing stories. They're erasing the past to push a globalist agenda against white people. One of the most blatant cases is Netflix's portrayal of the Queen of England in shows like Bridgerton. In this series, the Queen is depicted as a black woman, which is a total fabrication of history. This is not just creative license, but an intentional effort to rewrite British history and diminish white royal heritage. Even more egregiously, Netflix's 2023 docuseries, Queen Cleopatra, cast black actress Adele James as the titular Egyptian queen, portraying Cleopatra and her Ptolemaic dynasty, a family of Macedonian Greek descent, as black Africans. This sparked massive backlash from historians and Egyptians alike, for distorting historical facts to fit a diversity narrative. This isn't isolated. In 2021, Netflix's Anne Boleyn miniseries featured black actress Jodie Turner-Smith as the iconic white English queen, further erasing European heritage under the guise of inclusive casting. These choices aren't about representation. They're about systematically blackwashing white historical figures to undermine Western identity. They're not just bending the truth. They're breaking it entirely. Another clear example comes from a recent show, Adolescence, that has been making waves online. The show is full of feminist and anti-white propaganda. This Netflix series, released in March 2025, follows a 13-year-old white boy accused of stabbing a female classmate to death, radicalized by online misogyny. But users on X and Reddit quickly exposed the truth. It's inspired by real UK knife crimes, like the 2023 murder of Eliane Andam by Hassan Sentamu, a black teenager, or the 2024 Southport stabbings by a black suspect. The creators race-swapped the perpetrator to white, flipping the script to make a white kid the villain, in a story drawn from events where the attackers weren't white. Shows like HBO's Euphoria or similar teen dramas, where the main culprits or antagonists are portrayed as white, even though the original story or inspiration is based on a black individual. A parallel outrage unfolded with Netflix's 2024 adaptation of The Decameron, where aristocratic white characters from Boccaccio's medieval Italian tales were recast with diverse actors of color in lead roles, turning historical European nobility into a multicultural fantasy that dilutes authentic white cultural narratives. Similarly, biopic Hannibal stars Denzel Washington, a black actor, as the Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca, who was of Semitic Phoenician descent, not whitewashing in the reverse, but part of the pattern where non-white portrayals overwrite historical complexities to push anti-European agendas. They are purposely flipping real events to paint white people in a negative light. They're turning our kids against their own by making whites the villains in stories that were never about that. It's brainwashing 101. Additionally, the recent white genocide in South Africa has never been covered by mainstream media, with CNN and others labeling it as a conspiracy theory, further proving the agenda to suppress white victimhood and erase these atrocities from public discourse. This media blackout extends to real-world violence, like the underreporting of black-on-white crimes in the US, where 2023 to 2025 statistics show disproportionate attacks, but zero mainstream coverage from outlets like CNN, NYT, or PBS, framing white victims as non-issues, while amplifying minority narratives. It's part of the same agenda, using media to portray white people as inherently problematic, thereby eroding white history and identity. Similar things are done in India, where Hindus are shown as problematic by the mainstream media, while Muslims are depicted as victims, despite the opposite being true in those cases in the real world. Why? Because Hindus are the majority. They literally laugh at the mention of thousands of women being converted to Islam, as shown in the movie The Kerala Story, or deny the Kashmiri genocide, since that involved Muslims committing genocide against Hindus. If it were the other way around, they would shove down how Hindus are evil in our history textbooks. Why? That's because all major publication houses are leftist globalist funded. Also, every odd year, there would be Bollywood movies on the same topic. Since it involved Muslim perpetrators, no such movie was made. The one that dared to be made, The Kashmir Files, was unanimously slammed by Bollywood, which gets funding from globalists. It's a global playbook, divide and conquer. When people online try to expose these agendas, fact-checkers often step in to shut down the conversation. But users across platforms like Twitter, Reddit, and blogs have called them out for lying and pushing their own bias. In countless threads, users share stories of how fact-checking sites dismiss legitimate complaints about Google or Netflix as false or misinformation, even when backed by legit screenshots and personal experiences. For example, a viral Twitter thread from 2021 pointed out how fact-checkers labeled posts about Google's search biases as debunked, despite users providing direct evidence from their own searches. This pattern has led to widespread distrust. The fact-checkers don't check facts. They suppress the truth to maintain the status quo, making it harder for everyday users to fight back against the erasure of white history by the elites. Don't let them silence you. People aren't buying the excuses anymore. They're documenting and sharing evidence every day, proving that this is a coordinated effort to marginalize white culture in the West. If you dig into the posts on these platforms, you'll see the pattern. It's not just complaints. It's a call to action against what's being called out as anti-white bias. The truth, as shared by real people online, is out there for anyone to see. Wake up. Stand up. The time is now.